You may be wondering a few things. Hey, why don't you have 3 copies of this, first of all, or 3 copies of this, or why don't you have this card in the deck? I don't tend to use cards that I don't own up against random people. And along with that, I have a little black bar over the names of the people that I'll be playing up against in this video, just for privacy standards and just sort of my standards. You'll see my name, just no one else's name. Okay? Now then, on to the video. Before playing this one, I just gotta ask one question to whoever played this deck. Why? Who hurt you so bad? Just why? it's a sad moment when even the replayer is just like, no, I've had enough at looking at this pain and horror. Just, no, we're done here. Goodbye. You know, I thought about doing many things throughout my life, but talking about cards was not one of them. So, let's just say that for this end, I'm just going to say my thoughts on certain cards for this deck besides the ones that you want 3 of in this deck. First up, let's talk about Supreme King Darkworm. Now then, this card has become a bit iffy for me, and this may be a controversial opinion, but I would suggest running him at no more than 1 or 2 if you really feel like it. Why do I say that? Well, it's mostly because this card has bricked my hand more times than I can count in a singular instance of me using this card. And along with that, I feel as if you want to send him from deck to grave more often than you want to draw him. Sure, Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser fixes this a whole lot more and feels a whole lot more useful than Darkworm because you don't use up your normal summon for him. But more often than not, he can just be a brick for the hand if you draw too many of him. So that's why I would say run him at 1 or 2 at best. Speaking of bricks, let's talk about the biggest brick for the deck, Mist Valley Apex Avion. This card, while really good in the Pendulum playstyle, is a ginormous brick in your opening hand if you open more than 1 of these. That's why I'm going to say consider running it at 1 for the best optimal time, and 2 if you're just feeling like I really want to play this card and I want to make sure I get it. Don't run it at 3 because more often than not, you'll draw to Mist Valley Apex Avion, and again, it can be a ginormous brick for your hand, but it's also a really good card in Pendulum Magician. Seriously, this card just bricks so hard that I've had hands where I can make the Great Wall of China out of how hard I bricked. And now then, based on your preference, you may or may not want to run 1 or 2 Purple Poison Magician. I feel as if this card itself is a bit situational. It's like good removal if you need to blow up a thing, but also it's a Magician card. So if you use Pendulum Call, the only way you're going to be blowing this card up is if you normal summon it. It's really good to blow up in your Pendulum zone, but not so much on the monster field because you'll have to either waste your Pendulum summon or your normal summon in order to blow up this card. But again, it's really good in really specific situations. I would say run at 1 or 2 at max, don't run 3. On to a card you'll want to run 2 to 3 of is Black Fang Magician. This card is amazing for the deck mainly because of its high scale, but also its destruction effect, which with a bit of graveyard setup, you can actually bring out a pretty decent sized dark spellcaster monster. And no, it doesn't have to be a Pendulum spellcaster monster. Now then, the deck profile here I'm a bit embarrassed about because you may be questioning, first of all, why in the world do you have Odd Eyes in a Pendulum deck? Just give me a minute here. Have you not heard the thing at the beginning of the video? I work with what I have, not with what I need. So I do have a better version of the deck that I have built, and I just need a bit more testing out of certain things. But once that's all done, I think I'll show maybe a more updated version of this deck profile. So yeah, this is the end of the video. What do you guys think of this series that I'm making? Please let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more. Let's see if this does well.